Welcome again to one of our virtual classes. My name is Nicole. If you're new, nice to meet you. Today we'll be working on a strong flow, so some fundamental stuff, but with that added, with the understanding of our alignment from the feet all the way up to the crown of our heads, and noticing how much more challenging it makes it when you're really tuned into all areas of your body. So we'll begin lying on our back. When you're ready, go ahead and swing the legs round. Keeping the knees bent, roll down. Nice and slow. Stretch your legs out. Starting out in Shavasana is a great way to just ground yourself. It's one of my favorite ways to begin class. Breathing in through your nose. And you can begin to exhale slowly out the mouth. You have the option to close your eyes. Palms facing up in a receiving position with the fingers nice and relaxed. Arms are relaxed. The jaw is relaxed. In the beginning of class, we take this opportunity to observe the range of the breath, whether or not it's going into the belly, whether or not it's going into the chest. You might intentionally deepen the breath here, breathing in again through your nose, and exhale out your mouth. Again, breathe in through your nose. Let's hold at the top of the inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Every time you feel yourself getting heavier on the mat with each exhalation, breathe in through your nose. This time, keeping your lips sealed, exhale out the nose. This is your Ujjayi breath. Breathe in through your nose. Lips sealed. Hearing that same sound as if your mouth is open, exhale out the nose. So it's a very audible breath. It has a lot of texture to it. Helps you be more mindful of the range of the breath. Also soothing when we're moving into our standing poses. Everyone, begin to bend your knees and bring the soles of the feet flat onto the mat. Draw your knees into your chest and wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a squeeze. You might even start to rock from side to side. Eventually, we're all going to rock up and down on the length of the spine. You're going to bring the hands to the back of the thighs. Flutter the eyes open and just rock yourself up and down the length of the spine just a couple of times until eventually you're rocking yourself up to a seat, bringing the soles of the feet down. Feet are going to stay about hip distance apart. Broaden through your collarbones and pull the shoulders back and down away from the ears. And slowly begin to lean back on a slight diagonal. You feel yourself balancing right in between your sit bones and your sacrum, and then pull the belly up and in. As you firm the belly, you might even lift your feet off the mat and point the toes, setting up for a Navasana boat pose. Hold it here. Keep firming the belly, and you might release the hands so that the palms face up. We're going to start to warm the core. Inhale and exhale. Again, breathe, and you can even curl the corners of your lips. If you smile, it just adds to the fun that we're having, getting to know our body, working our body, and warming the body. Breathe in. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Chin up. Exhale. Wrap the right ankle on top of the left ankle. Go ahead and roll onto the edges of the feet and come right into a tabletop position, drawing the knees down. So we're rolling on from a cross leg into a tabletop, meeting in all fours with the hands underneath the shoulders. Go ahead with the toes tucked. Drop the belly, coming through some cat-cows. Lift the crown of the head and tailbone up. Exhale, draw the tail, tuck the tailbone, crown of the head points down. And let's start to find some fluid motion. Inhale as you arch. You can keep the feet tucked. Exhale as you round. If you like, I invite you to untuck the toes here. And again, inhale as you arch. Exhale as you round. One more, inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Let's meet back with the spine neutral. Toes can stay untucked here. Begin to rock yourself forward slightly. And I want you to just dive your chest in between your thumbs as your chin comes down. And then push through your palms and lift right back up. Beautiful. Same thing, rock yourself forward. Dive your chest in between your thumbs. Let the elbows graze the ribs. Chin comes down. Then use the strength of your upper body to push yourself back up. Last time, dive your chest in between your thumbs as your chin comes down. Beautiful. And this time, tuck your toes. Use that strength, so it's the knees, chest, chin. We're going to snake our way forward to lie on the navel and then untuck the toes, meeting in a prone position. Let the neck stay nice and long, so tuck the chin. Slide the palms, if they're not already, underneath the shoulders. Push your pubic bone down and lift your chest up. So all of this strength is coming from the lower back. As you notice, your palms can float up. Neck stays nice and long. Settle into the shape. And then lower the chest down. Keeping the toes tucked. Use the strength of the upper body. Push right up into all fours. We'll prepare for our first down dog, so make sure the fingers are slightly spread. And to start it, let the fleshy part of the arm point as in face the front of the mat and the elbows behind you. And then tuck your toes, let the knees hover a couple of inches, eventually drawing your torso towards your thighs. Slowly elevate the hips and start to straighten the legs. You can keep a micro bend in the knee for your first down dog. Immediately tune back into the breath. Exhale to release. If you like, you can pedal out the feet here. Just become acquainted with all the sensations in the body. Approach this down dog as if it's your first down dog. See if you can learn something new about this pose, something new about the way the body feels. Keep drawing your torso towards your thighs and lengthen the spine, making the objective to find length in the spine and deepening this inverted V, as opposed to keeping the legs straight and rounding the spine. One more, inhale. And exhale. We'll prepare for our first standing sequence during the big toes to touch. Right leg lifts. Keep flexing that foot and notice the energy coming out of the heel. You're going to start to notice some work from the back of the right leg. You can even lift your kneecap up and really extend through the heel. And you might find some fun floating high on the ball of the left foot and then lowering the left heel down. And just some play there, lifting and lowering. One more time, lift and lower. Slowly draw your right knee into your chest as you round the spine. Really actively pushing down through the pads in your hand. Lift your hips up to create space and gently draw your right foot in between your thumbs. It's really soft and almost inaudible, that transition. Bring your left hand underneath the shoulders. Immediately wrap the outer hips in so you're strong in the inner thighs, and then float your right arm up for an easy twist. You can even take the gaze up, or if you're feeling any tension in the neck, you can simply look to the right. And if you'd like, you can also take your gaze up to the ceiling. Actively pushing down through the sole of the right foot and the ball of the left foot. Still making sure you feel some of the energy coming from the back of the right leg. But we want to be efficient with our breath and our energy. So as soon as you start to activate all of these muscles, you're activating the lower limbs. You might even find some softness in the face, softness in the shoulders. Where can you soften? So again, we're using our energy efficiently. Take one more deep breath. And then slowly soften the left knee down. Dive your right arm underneath the left as you lift the shoulders over the hips and coming into an eagle wrap with the arms. So right arm underneath the left. You can untuck your left toes and hold it here. See if you can lift the rib cage slightly away from the hips. So it's just like you're lengthening the crown of the head up, creating a little more space in between the vertebrae. And then push your hips forward, firm your belly, lift your gaze up as the elbows rise for a tiny back bend here. Still opening the shoulders, breathe in and breathe out. Gently come forward, lift the shoulders over the hips. Unbind with the arms as you frame your right foot with your hands. Tuck your left toes, lift the left knee off the mat for that low runner's lunge, and then step the left foot to meet the right hip distance apart. Begin to fold over the legs, and you might find yourself from the inseam of the feet all the way up to the sit bones, almost spreading the sit bones apart so you can deepen this hinge from the hips. You can keep a micro bend in the knees. Really hanging heavy here. Let all of that go. Take some of that weight and some of that tension off the spine. One more deep breath. You can also flutter the lips here. Whatever you have to do to reconnect with the breath in the body. Pressing through all four corners of your feet. Begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale as you lift the arms overhead. Urdhva lengthen up. Exhale, soft bend in the knees. Reverse swan dive. Arms come out and float underneath the shoulders. The hands let the neck and head go. Breathe in as you lengthen the spine. Lift yourself up halfway. Lift the shoulders in line with the hips and keep the core engaged. On your exhale, bend the knees. Plant both hands down. Step the right leg back. And then the left foot meets the right in plank. We're still working on knees, chest, chin. We're doing some upper body work. Rock yourself forward and soften the knees down. See if you can dive your chest right in between your thumbs as your chin comes down. And then snake your way forward for baby cobra, lying on the navel. Untuck the toes, lift the kneecaps, chest lifts, palms up, breathe in. Exhale as you lower. Tuck your toes, push it up to all fours. You can always push up to plank. Soft bend in the knees as you lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Big toes come to touch. We'll take that on the left side. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Keep drawing those inner thighs together and you're nice and strong in that left leg. Reconnect with the breath. And you can do the same play where you lift high onto the ball of that right foot and then lower that heel down, lifting and lowering. Beautiful. And we're kind of just powering through this. Feeling some sensation in the back of the right leg, and then bring the left knee into your chest or maybe to your chin. Hike your hips up, create space. Step the left foot in between the hands, low lunge. Right hand stays under the shoulder. Peel your left arm up for the twist, stacking the left shoulder on top of the right. As you stack, you're going to continue to actively elevate that left arm as you open up. Plug the left foot down, lift that right heel up, stay nice and strong in the legs. Where can you engage and where can you soften? This is our dance throughout class. Maybe begin to soften in the face once again. Take one more deep breath. When you're ready, dive the left arm, as you lower your right knee down, dive the left arm underneath the right arm and lift the shoulders over the hips for the eagle round. Untuck the right toes. Begin to lift your elbows up as you push your hips forward. We're going to take a small back bend from here. Belly's nice and firm, and then the right shin should be actively pushing down. Lift the shoulders back over the hips. Unbind with the arms as you frame your left foot with your hands. Tuck your right toes, lift the right knee off the mat. Step the right foot to meet the left about hip distance apart. Fold once again. Inhale as you roll it up one vertebrae at a time, then sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, reverse swan dive, soft bend in the knees as you fold. Breathe in as you lift yourself up halfway as the fingertips graze the shin, pull the shoulders back, engage the core. Exhale, plant the hands down, step the left foot back, you're in a low lunge. Both hands come flat onto the mat, right foot meets left in plank. Rock yourself forward again, still actively pushing down, and then soften the knees, chest and chin, so you have 8 points of contact on the mat. Coming to lie on the navel, one more time for baby cobra, untuck the toes, lift the chest up. Breathe. Exhale, lower the chest down. Tucking your toes, you decide all fours, or maybe you push to plank. Soft bend in the knees as you lift up and back. Downward facing dog, let that go. One more time with that same sequence. Big toes come to touch. Let's try to move with the breath. Inhale as the right leg lifts. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and step it forward, low lunge. Breathe in as you reach that right arm up. On your exhale, left knee down, eagle wrap. Lift the shoulders over the hips. Inhale for the back bend, gaze lifts up. Exhale to come forward, unbind to frame. Inhale, lift the left knee off the mat. Exhale, left foot meets right and fold. Breathe in as you reach the arms of Urdhva Hasana. Exhale to fold, reverse swan dive. Lift up halfway, inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees, step the right leg back, meeting in plank. Breathe in one more time and exhale, coming through any flow of your choice. So you might do knees, chest, chin. Or this time, we'll take upward facing, tops of the feet in the mat. Squeeze those inner thighs together, pull the shoulders up and back. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through, low lunge. Lift that left arm up, breathe in. On your exhale, right knee down, eagle wrap. Inhale, lift that gaze up. Exhale, coming forward to frame your left foot with your hands. Breathe in as you lift the right knee up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll it up, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, reverse swan dive. Breathe in as you lengthen yourself up halfway. Breathe out as you bend the knees, step the left foot back. Meet in plank. Inhale. Exhale, moving through your flow. Beautiful. Coming back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And exhale, let it go. One more inhale. And exhale. Getting ready for your second standing sequence. You can bring the big toes to touch. I think this really helps keep the hips neutral. We're gonna elevate the right leg again so that foot stays nice and flexed. You might even find you can lift it up a little more now that the body is warm. And then bring your right knee to your nose. Hike the hips up, create that space. Step it through, soft and quietly as you can, using your core. Actively pushing down through that right foot. Let's go ahead and bring the left heel in so the left foot comes flat onto the mat. We're setting up warrior one with the feet. Left toe should be pointing to the top left corner. Inhale as you sweep the arms forward and up. Warrior one. Here the hips are square to the front of the mat. Really be mindful to actively push down through the back of the left leg. Slide the right hip back and left hip forward. Inhale. On your exhale, begin to cactus the arms. Lift your gaze up toward the ceiling or the sky if you're working outside. And then clasp the hands behind you. So you're going to squeeze the arms together behind you. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the palms together and lift the gaze up even more, finding this bigger back bend. On your exhale, begin to come forward, drawing the crown of the head toward the earth, keeping the shoulders squared inside of the right leg. Devotional warrior. Keep drawing those arms overhead, really opening the shoulders, staying very strong here in the lower limbs. Really surrender the upper body. Gravity is doing its work here, so continue to let gravity do its work. You just want to encourage the body to release and let go. Every time we're here for a couple of breaths, you might find it's easier to release where there's resistance in the body. Take one more deep breath. And then slowly begin to push down as you rise up, stacking the vertebrae, lift the shoulders back over the hips. From here, the only thing that's going to move is the position of the hands and the arms. So let's come into a prayer behind the back so that the pinky fingers allowing you to square the shoulders and open up the chest. Palms are coming together. And straighten your front leg. Beginning to hinge from the hip. Keep the core engaged. I really want you to think about leading with the lower rib cage. So that lower rib cage is kind of poking out. So we really want to keep the spine nice and long to the best of your ability. And you can also micro bend that front knee. Slide the right hip back and left hip forward. Continue to breathe, and maybe this is your halfway point where the shoulders are in line with the hips, and you can stay here for your pyramid. Or if you'd like, you can continue to release in the back of that right leg. Keeping that open line of communication with the body. How far does it want to go? Am I a little more flexible than I think? How is my internal dialogue affecting how deep I'm going with this pose? Do I believe there are limitations, or there's some perceived limitations I can push past? And I really oftentimes encourage for you to use some of these visualizations so you can like marry this mind and body to help you increase your strength and flexibility and strengthen your practice. Take one more deep breath. Slowly releasing the bind, place the hands underneath the shoulders. Right hand is coming inside of the right foot. Walking yourself to the middle of the mat, pick up your right toes and point them to the left. Then you're going to find the toes are pointing in slightly, heels pointing out will meet in a wide leg forward fold. All 10 toes pointing to the left. Right hand is going to stay underneath the shoulders. Your right hand can come to a block or can stay on the mat as you lift your left arm up for the twist. We've been twisting, opening up. See if you can rotate even more from the navel and take the gaze up. When you're ready, thread your left arm underneath the right, back to that eagle wrap. Draw your heels and your toes out, lift into a goddess. Getting your hips in line with the knees, sit a little bit lower and engage the core. Maybe you peek down and you can see your big toes. Starting to open up in the hips. Inhale. And exhale. Take one more deep breath, sit a little bit lower. Inhale. Exhale. Unbind with the arms 5 when you started, just opening up. So this is where we find this expansion throughout the body. We're going to pivot on the feet so that the left foot is parallel with the mat. Pick up the right toes and point them forward. We'll meet in a warrior 2. Inhale as you flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Lift it up and back. Open up the front side of the body. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Lift the left heel up, low lunge. Plant both hands down. Step the right foot to meet the left. We're coming to a 3-leg plank. And then proceed to move through your flow. Yogi's choice on if you want to keep that right leg lifted. Inhale, heart is shining. Exhale, downward facing dog. Going into the left side, big toes come to touch. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, scoop that knee and scoop, 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 scoop. Left foot in between the hands, low lunge. Draw your right foot in so the right heel comes flat onto the mat, toes point to the top right corner. Sweep your arms forward and up, lifting gracefully into warrior 1. Start to align the spine, so you might even push the hips forward and find a little pelvic tilt forward, keeping this nice opening in that right hip. And cactus the arms, lift your gaze up. Really firm in the feet, actively pushing down. Then start to clasp the hands, interlace the fingers behind you. You're ready in your back bend, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the palms and get together and with the opposite on your tongue. Slowly come forward, draw the crown of the head to the earth, devotional warrior, let it all go. Find yourself melting here. Whatever you have to think about to release, it could be condensation in the glass, it could be a waterfall. Sometimes it's nice to play with this idea that, you know what, you can just settle into this. Maybe my body becomes really flexible, just a raindrop, silky. Slowly press through your feet. Start to organize the spine to lift the shoulders back over the hips once again. Reposition the arms and the hands. Find that prayer behind your back. Open up the elbows so that the collarbones are broad and straighten your front leg. Square your hips off and engage the core as you hinge from the hips. And again, you can put a micro bend in this knee. You never have to lock the joints. Yogi's choice. As you come forward, keep squaring off, noticing you might open up to the right. Lower down. Open up that line of communication with the back of the left leg. What's happening here? Is it the same as the right side? Think about this as gathering intel about the body. Oftentimes the body is communicating with you throughout the day, but we can get caught up in our head. So it's really interesting to just place your awareness on the soles of the feet and notice how that being the furthest place from the head can help you get out of the head and into the body. Take one more deep breath. Draw your hands underneath the shoulders. Place your left hand inside the left foot. Pick up your left toes, point them to the right. And now all 10 toes are going to spin to the right. Same thing, finding this wide leg forward fold. Left hand stays under the shoulder on a block or onto the mat. And peel the right arm up for the twist. Inhale. Stack the shoulders and see if you can trace one line from the right wrist to the left wrist. Bring that right arm down and thread it underneath the left, heels and toes out. Cactus arms, sit nice and low into your goddess. Same thing, can you see your big toes? Or is the core engaged? Feel this open and then the back side of the body, the shoulders. Sink a little bit lower. Again, pushing past any perceived limitations in your goddess. And then when you're ready, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, 5-pointer star, breathe in. On your exhale, pivot on the feet. Right foot comes parallel with the back of the mat, palm face the earth, median warrior 2, left toes move forward. Flip your front palm as you reach forward, tip it up and back, peaceful warrior, inhale. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands down, lift that right heel up, step it to a low, to plank or 3-leg plank, and then move through your flow. Inhale for upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold it here in your down dog. Take a full inhale and exhale. We'll repeat that sequence. Same thing, moving on nice and fluid with the breath. Inhale as the right leg lifts up. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Breathe in as the left heel comes down, warrior 1. Exhale as you cactus the arms, starting to find the back bend and then bind. Inhale as you come forward and then exhale as you fold. Devotional warrior. Breathe in as you lift yourself back up, pressing through the feet. Exhale, find repositioning the hands, the prayer behind the back. Inhale as you straighten the front leg. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, hands come underneath the shoulders. On your exhale, pick up those front toes, walk your way to a wide leg forward fold. Breathe in for the twist, left arm reaches up. Exhale, eagle wrap the arms, and then inhale, heels and toes out, goddess pose, sit nice and low. Exhale, 5-pointer star, straighten straighten your legs and your arms. And then inhale, warrior 2, facing the front of the mat. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, exhale here. Cartwheel the hands down, low lunge, breathe in. Step it back to plank or 3-leg plank, exhale to move through your flow. Inhale, left leg rises. Step through, exhale. Right heel comes in, breathe in, warrior 1. Exhale for the back bend, push your hips forward. Find your bind. Inhale, lift the shoulders back over the hips. Exhale, come into devotional warrior, arms come overhead. Inhale as you rise back up. Reposition the arms, exhale. Breathe in as you straighten that front leg. And then right shoulders come in line with the hips, exhale into pyramid. Hands come under the shoulders, breathe in, stay with the breath. Exhale, wide leg forward fold, pivot on the feet. Inhale as the right arm reaches up for the twist. Exhale, eagle wrap. Inhale, heels and toes out, goddess pose, sit nice and low. Exhale, 5-pointer star. Breathe in, warrior 2, front of the mat, pivot on the feet. Flip your front palm, exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, right heel lifts, low lunge. Exhale, step back, 3-leg plank and move through your flow or plank. Inhale for upward facing or baby cobra. You can also skip these. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let that go. Just reconnect with the breath. Getting grounded once again in your down dog. Finding this as a sanctuary, a space to recalibrate. We have one more third and final standing sequence. When you're ready, big toes come to touch. Inhale as the right leg lifts up. Exhale, knee comes to nose, step it through, low lunge. Really nice. Wrap those outer hips in. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. High lunge. Lift onto the ball of that back foot. You might even play with getting the heel over the big toe mat. So you notice if the heel is getting closer to the mat, you might lift it up and push your hips forward simultaneously. Both arms are lifted. Inhale here. Exhale. Take one more deep breath. Inhale. On your exhale, swing the right arm behind you, left arm forward. We've been twisting, so the body is a little more supple, a little more malleable. We're just gonna go with it. Maybe take your gaze over the right thumb. And then straighten that front leg, keep your twist. Here we go, balance fly. Bring the back foot in so that your foot is flat onto the mat. You're still twisting, big transition. And then tick-tock that left hand for a revolved triangle on the outside of the right leg. So you're lowering down, stacking the shoulders. Take your gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, hold. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath. Breathe. On your exhale, bring your right hand down. We've done this before. Right hand is going to come underneath the left arm. Right arm underneath the left. Eagle wrap. Lift the shoulders over the hips. Place a soft bend in the right knee. And step the left thigh over the right, finding an eagle pose at the top of the mat. And you can come into a full wrap, or maybe it's just crossing the legs. Hinging from the hips, ooh, squeeze those inner thighs together. Start to sit back as if you're sitting in a stool. And then you might be able to place the elbows over the knees, fold. Hold it here, inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, unbind with only the legs and bring the left knee in your chest. Send the left leg behind you, hinging from the hips, coming through a warrior three, but then we're gonna find a toppling tree. So you're really gonna press through the heel of the right foot and lift that left leg as high as you can. Keep hinging from the hips and hold. You can keep a soft bend in that right knee. Inhale. Then unbind with the arms. Let's meet in a standing split at the top of the mat. Exhale. Take one big giant step back. Low lunge. Let that go. Plant both hands down. Step into plank or three-leg plank if you're still flowing with that, and move through your flow. Meeting back. Downward facing dog. Finishing straw off really strong. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step it through. Nice and easy. Low lunge. Breathe in as you sweep your arms forward and up. High lunge, lift the shoulders over the hips. On your exhale, T-twist, left arm behind you, right arm forward. Still keeping this right heel lifted as we did on the other side. And use engaging the legs as leverage to twist even more. Maybe you play with your balance, take your gaze to your left thumb. Here we go. Now you're going to straighten the front leg. Bring your right foot in. Ooh. And rotating, right hand is going to come on the outside of the left foot to a blocker to the mat, and then the left arm lifts up. Maybe the gaze goes up. Maybe the gaze goes up to the left hand. Everyday balance is different. Hold it here. Take two more deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your left hand down. Setting up for that eagle one more time. Left arm comes underneath the right. Lift the shoulders over the hips. Soft bend in the left knee. Right thigh over the left. Eagle wrap, top of the mat. Once you have your balance, maybe fully wrap the legs. And then begin to hinge from the hips as you sit back. You might fold the elbows over the knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything together as if you were wringing out a towel. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take another deep breath. When you're ready, slowly rise up. One leg into Tadasana with the bind. Send that right leg behind you. Setting up for this toppling tree, keep the core engaged and lift that right leg as high up. And this time you're folding over that left leg. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Unbind with the arms. Exhale, standing split. Take one big step back, low lunge. Hands come flat on the mat, either plank or 3-leg plank, yogi's choice. Final one, final flow here. Inhale for the back bend. Exhale for down dog. When you're ready, we'll meet in a child's pose. Knees wide, big toes come to touch. Sitting on your heels, forehead comes down. Let that go. Slowly lift the forehead off of the mat. Come to sit on your heels. Bring the knees together. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Swing the legs around. Come to a seat. Asana. You might inch to the middle of the mat with the legs straight. You can put a micro bend in the knees, and we're going to find a more restorative forward fold. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Exhale as you hinge from the hips, again leading with that low rib cage, and fold over the legs. You can tuck the chin and start to open up the upper thoracic. If you like, I invite you to stay here. You can also straighten the legs if that feels good. Breathe in and exhale. Every time you inhale, you create a little more space in the body, and then you exhale to deepen the stretch for the back of the legs, for the upper back. Inhale again, you might create a little bit more space. Exhale to deepen. When you're ready, slowly roll up. We're going to take a Pilates roll down, reaching those arms forward. And roll one vertebrae at a time. Returning the same way we started. Lying on our back. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, just neutralizing the spine. Soles of the feet come down, about hip distance apart. Place them flat on the mat. Fingertips are going to graze your heels. Press through both heels and lift your hips up to a bridge pose, pushing the shoulder blades into the mat. And you might find clasping of the hands, interlace the fingers here will allow you some leverage to become more buoyant. Press through your heels, and you don't have to squeeze the glutes, but you do want to keep the back of the legs nice and active. Let's take one more deep breath. And slowly lower the hips back down. Stretch the legs out. If you have another shape you'd like to take to conclude your practice, this would be the time. If you're ready to surrender, give yourself this moment to work on your concentration. The beginning of your meditation practice. And close your eyes. Take the gaze in right out the middle of the brows and chin for now. You can begin to count down breaths from 10. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed the strong flow. Namaste.